I am totally sorry about that shitty video that I put out yesterday. I was trying to rush out to make a video because I wanted to do it every Wednesday. And to be honest with you, if I couldn't make the time, I shouldn't have rushed the video and did it at all. It was such a crap video. I've even made mistakes in the video, and I couldn't correct it until the video was actually posted. I'm like, fuck it, I'll put this shit in the comments. But without further ado, let's have the actual video and a decent part two to that video because there were some really good points that I wanted to make. We're going to be talking about dreams, actually, and Jason Schreier, some other video game news of that nature. So let's get into it. So, casually wandering the interwebs, I've seen this question pop up numerous times. And someone asks, why would anybody want to buy this game to make games? Like, you buy games to play games. And my response is, have you ever heard of Legos or Minecraft or fucking Clay at all? You know what I'm saying? Like it's really retarded to even say anything like that. You know what I mean? I do feel like I said yesterday that everyone's saying, oh, this game may not be for everybody. It's probably it's so different. And honestly, if a game, if you can create anything you want, it's probably for everybody. Actually, the building aspects is something. It's I want you to understand that the actual building tools are so easy to use. It is beyond easy to use. It's amazing. It really is. It's a nice. It's easy to use. It's intuitive. One could even say that Little Big Planet had the same things, but here's the thing: it was kind of fixed in its art style, and it was basically 2D. It was very hard to make anything 3D, and this is a totally different situation. This is a different situation. I mean, obviously it's 3D and shit like that, but it is what it is. Um, you know, One of the things that I am curious about is the future of dreams. Not to say that anything's going to happen to it, but if this really takes off, because one of the things that people don't know is that dreams is not fixed on, you know, just making anything. Everyone knows that you can, as a one person team, it's very hard for you to make any kind of medium. Um, so they rely on their social networks so you can actually, kind of search for things that you may need: pottery, plates, tables, trees, anything of that nature. You could actually kind of dip into and ask and put it into your creation. They call it remixing, and you don't have to take on that whole, like, that burden. But think about it. Imagine if Sony somehow makes some sort of, I don't know, PayPal thing, so where like you upload it onto um, the PlayStation Store and you get credit for it and you get money for it, because eventually these creations, people are going to want, they're going to want money for it, and rightfully so. It takes a lot of time to do anything in general. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of time, but it's a relative amount of time. But it'd be really, really cool if they can somehow kind of make that shit work. You know what I mean? Um, I think that would be really cool. I really do. I think that'd be cool. They have some sort of like PayPal system or some sort. 'Cause it has to be PayPal. You know what I'm saying? But I would imagine Sony would want their cut since they made the program, since they made it possible for something like that to actually happen. I would imagine that's what they kind of want their money. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Um, I want to reiterate before we move on to our next subject. Honestly, like, people really don't understand that this shit is so easy to do. It's so easy to do. It's fun to kind of like surf, dream surf and see, other people's ideas and things like that. Even if you don't want to build at that moment, you can take a look to see what other people are actually doing, and their tutorial system is top notch. Anything that you want to learn in terms of an engine, you could definitely do. It's a very powerful engine, very nice things that you can do with it. Almost anything that you can possibly do. There are limits to the engine, not size wise, but like certain art styles, like clouds can't be rendered in different ways. There's certain ways that you can render surfaces and whatnot. But I mean, honestly, there's just a lot of things that this game can that Dreams does right. and I don't know how anybody could be upset about it. I really don't. It's opportunity for people to have their dreams realized and to honestly get paid for it. I do music personally, and I really feel like if I could put my music onto the program itself, and somebody wants to look at my profile and they want to use my music for um, their projects, I can get paid for it if they want to have like a, some sort of PayPal system going on where they get a cut or I get a cut and things like that. I honestly think that eventually dreams is going to be like you're going to be able to put your dreams onto the PSN store. That's what I think. But let's move on to the next subject. So Jason Schreier is really pushing his boundaries right now, honestly. He is definitely on that left wing shit. You know what I'm saying? Where if you don't know, people from the left wing or constantly talk about freedom of speech and constantly talking about you can't do this to other people. I'm neither. I want to kind of preface the conversation with that. I don't none of that shit really matters to me personally. But I will say this: um, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't want freedom and then want to censor everybody else from making the decisions or making any kind of comment really, that basically interferes with your amendments. You're right in this country if you're from the United States. It's like you want it to be the land of the free, but at the same time you don't want to insult other people, or you don't want it to make it look like you're wrong. It's like ridiculous. It honestly is ridiculous. And a lot of this bullshit comes from fucking Reset Era. This is why I don't really like that website, and I don't really follow any kind of like leaks or anything of that nature. I'll find my information out other means. If it is just kind of like trending on Twitter or anything of that nature, I will definitely kind of look into it. But the thing about it there is, and this is the long and short of it, I don't want to drag this out in particular, is that Jason Schreier stated that he feels like it's a conspiracy theory when people say that you're kind of forced in the industry to be on the left side, you know. And there were people that was kind of asking him, well, okay, cool. Jason, could you give me a list of people from your place, Kotaku or anywhere that you know of, since you are an industry, leaker that is conservative? Can you tell me that? And this nigga blocked everybody. He has a bot that is blocking anybody that says anything about left wing or anything about his employment. It automatically blocks them. If it's not a bot, then that bitch is fast as hell. But you're censoring other people and you don't want to answer. You're a total fucking coward. You're a coward. That's what it boils down to. And it's just amazing how these guys fucking want their cake and eat it too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? I personally will want all freedoms to happen at the same time as long as you're not killing anybody or harming them. People are too fucking sensitive, and it's making America and the world a very irritating and sickening place to live in. Let's move on to our next subject before I get real pissed off. Sony has been canceling events left and right, and it has a lot to do, if not all to do, with the coronavirus. I did some research regarding the coronavirus. I'll say this: it is like the flu, basically, but no one knows how it's being spread. They don't know if it's airborne. They say they think it has something to do with fecal matter. No, it's not a fucking bat soup that caused this shit. No, it's not fucking a conspiracy theory where they're leaking this shit out. I will say this: it's definitely some sort of distraction. Regardless of the matter, people are slamming Sony for not going to these events and putting their staff and other people at risk. And there are people on Twitter and just social media in general that is losing their fucking shit because of this. It is amazing. It's like when Jason Schreier says something about the industry doing crunch time and or poor people and people lost their jobs and stuff like that, which it is bad. But people, in terms of the crunch time, some things you got to do to keep your job. It's point blank period. Whether it's selling, you don't want to sell the product, whatever the fucking case is. You know what I mean? That's just how the world is. That's how the world is. But people sit there and they give applause to Kotaku and Jason Schreier for leaking these events, especially that shithole echo chamber of Reset Era. Um, and yet people are upset about Sony shouldn't care, and it should just, I think that Sony's just so afraid of Microsoft, they should just go. I don't understand, just go there. And you're putting people at risk. It's such a contradiction, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. I cannot stand people. I fucking hate everybody. I don't. Like, I want, the more time passes, the more I want to just have everybody leave me the fuck alone. It's just, people are ridiculous, and I don't like them. Point blank. That's how I feel about the whole situation. Be that as it may, they're canceling this shit because they don't want anybody in their staff to become sick, nor they don't want to stretch out the pandemic, whatever it is, the fucking, whatever virus epidemic that's going on. They don't want to stretch that shit out. They don't want anybody fucking sick, and there is an Asian country. It's Japan. So a lot of that shit is around that area anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's in China, and China is far from Japan or anything like that, but they want to quarantine the shit. Shit. Gosh, man, people are ridiculous, man. I'm just so tired of reading this shit online. I'm sick of it. I'm trying to block these motherfuckers, and it's just a cesspool of information that just keep being leaked. Gosh, fucking, I just hate everything. But let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked the video, definitely sub to it. Thanks.